can we please talk about UFC Vegas 31 coming to us live from the Apex? It's in Vegas this Saturday. I know. It's all just a bit hard to keep up with, isn't it? 1 second you're looking at Conor versus Dustin, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, but the UFC train it keeps on rolling, and there's more terrible bets to be had. So effectively, this is the Burt Locker Fights in 15 for UFC Vegas 31. In a nutshell, what I do here is I break down, there's certain fights where I feel like there are some bets that are worth making, and I break down those fights in 15 minutes or less. What more could you want? There are some really fun fights on this one, actually. And we'll start off in the middleweight division, where Rodolfo Vieira is taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus? I have no idea how to say that dude's last name. It's a lot of S's, a lot of Z's, a lot of T's. So, yeah, effectively, I mean, good Lord. I mean, just a spoiler alert, I am leaning towards Vieira in this one. Look at the state of that. He's the dude on the left. Look at that. He is just muscle on top of muscle. To be honest, his biggest enemy must be the piss test, mustn't it? Good Lord. I mean, even in that picture, like the other dude looks terrified. Oh, Dustin looks like he's in for a bad night, and I think he is. To be honest, look, Vieira, he's a submission wizard, right? And you really don't want that dude. Look at the state of him. You do not want that dude grabbing hold of an arm or a leg or a groin. And yeah, because it's going to be a bad night. So, at the end of the day, although, at the end of the day, Vieira's not immune to submissions himself. He did drop a guillotine to Alex Hernandez in his last fight. But the arm triangle choke, it seems to be Vieira's go-to kind of submission. He's gotten a few of them in his career, and with arms like that, he's probably got a good squeeze on him. That's what she said. But yeah, anyway, Dustin, yeah, he's in for a hard night here. Old Stoltzfus, I can't say it. He lost to Caucus last time out. Now the odds on this one, they're not like brilliant. They're not blowing my skirt up. It's a 210 special boost on the submission. The bookies seem to know that Vieira is a submission wizard, and you know what? I think the bookies are bang on this one. So look, you're getting even money on the submission, like twos. So that's not brilliant, but it's well worth adding to the bet slip, because honestly, I cannot see this fight going any other way. Yeah, I'll be very surprised if it did. But yeah, on the bet slip goes +2. So next in, we've got the lightweight division. Jeremy Stephens taking on Mateusz Gamlin. Now, Stephens, he did go down to 145 for a bit. Stephens, he's just had a bit of an up and down kind of career, like especially in recent years. Gamrot, he's a relative newcomer to the UFC. 2 fights in this promotion, 1 split decision loss and 1 knockout over Scott Holtzman. Okay, now I do like little heathen Jeremy Stephens. He's just, but he's not even that little anymore. And the dude is 35. And that's getting up there for a lightweight, especially one that's been going since 2005. He has been fighting since 2005. That is ridiculous. That is some fight miles. That is some serious fight miles. And, I don't know. Has it been catching up to him? I mean, his record's not been brilliant recently. He's just not looked good in a while, right? But let's be fair. Let's look at this objectively. Who were his last 4 opponents that he's lost to? Jose Aldo, Zabit, Yair Rodriguez, Kelvin Kattar. All absolute killers. All of those. They're like elite level opponents. They're kind of... That's actually a ridiculous list. Losing to those 4. When you say, 4 fight skid, it's like, oh, that's trash. It's like, I don't know. Looking at who he's been fighting, I can see why. Now, the thing is, I'm not ready to write Jeremy Stephens off yet. And the bookies have. I mean, not written him off, but he is an underdog in this fight. I can't remember what the exact odds are, but I will definitely bring them up now. Obviously, you can already see them, but I'm just bringing them up on my screen here. I'll break the 4th wall for you. So, yeah, Jeremy Stephens is a 2.75 underdog, so you're getting better than even money just on the win, which is that's pretty good. That is not bad at all, to be fair. And The thing is, when Jeremy Stephens fights people lower in the rankings, you know, you do Hoi Choi's of the world, your Josh Emmett's, like those kind of guys. I picked those two names because Jeremy Stephens beat him by knockout. At least Josh Emmett, he definitely beat by knockout. I can't remember Do Hoi Choi one. But either way, my point is that against lower ranked opponents, Jeremy Stephens is still very dangerous. He's a very dangerous guy. He hits very hard for the lightweight division, extremely hard. So Gamrot, whilst he might be something great in the future, look, he's not that guy yet. He really isn't. He's nowhere close, right? Which is why I like Stephens as an underdog in this fight. Because, honestly, I think that his record is kind of deceptive. He's been put against killer after killer after killer, but when you put him against somebody who's not, like, at the elite level, he generally looks quite good. Gamrot is that guy. There is value there. There's some real value on Jeremy Stephens here, especially to get the knockout. Because, like I said, Jeremy Stephens, for that weight class, hits very hard, right? And you're getting 5s on the knockout there. That's 4-1. Getting 4-1 on the knockout with Jeremy Stephens, someone who is known for knocking people flat when he's against somebody who, you know, with respect, is not in those upper echelons of the division. I'm taking that bet all day. I'm taking that bet all day. Jeremy Stephens by knockout, +5, 4-1. That's a lovely bet. Terrible. That is my pick of the week as well. Because honestly, I just think that there's a lot of value there. And like I said, Jeremy Stephens' record, it is a little bit deceptive, to be fair. And I guess we'll find out just how good Mateusz Gamrot is. But I think Stephens puts his lights out. So then we have got the return of a legend, right? Miesha Tate is a legend. She's a pioneer of women's mixed martial arts. Absolutely. No one can doubt that. I was so happy when I watched her win the belt, right? Because I just thought she deserved it so much. Kind of like when I saw Michael Bisping win the belt, Robbie Lawler as well. Similar kind of thing. Look, they've just put so much into the sport. When you see them get that win, get that gold, it's wonderful. It's magical, right? And I love Miesha Tate. I think she's absolutely fantastic. Now, this is all a preface because the rest of what I'm going to say is going to make it sound like I don't like Miesha Tate, right? Which isn't true. I do. I'm a big fan. But she has been retired since 2016, right? So, I don't know. So, she got battered by Nunes. I was there at UFC 200. I watched it happen. Right, she got battered by Nunes. It was a tough one, and then she got outclassed by Pennington. And let's be perfectly fair, right? In the title fight against Holmes, she did snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Do you know what I mean? That was a hell of a fight as well. Wonderful fight. I remember it really well. It was the same card that Nate Diaz fought McGregor on the first time, one where Nate tapped him out. And I actually had a double on that day of both Miesha Tate and Nate Diaz by submission. I was so happy. It's one of the few bets that goes my way. A broken clock is right twice a day, once a day. I don't know. But yeah, either way. Look, Miesha Tate retired, and when she retired, she wasn't exactly on top of the sport. Right? It's never like she's been this kind of bulldozer that's just completely unstoppable. She's very talented, don't get me wrong, but she's never been that fighter. Now, I would kind of get it if she's coming out of retirement after... it's a long time. 2016 was a long time ago. We're in 2021 now. That's a hell of a layoff, right? Now, I get it. Her opponent isn't great either, right? Marion Reneau... No, they've given her an easy-ish opponent. Reneau, she's on a 4-fight skid, so I totally see why the bookies are writing Tate's opponent off, right? She's on a 4-fight skid. However, look at some of those names that she fought. Kat Zingano, Kunitskaya, right? There's no real shame in those defeats, especially those decision losses. It's not like she got starched by each one of them. And despite the fact she's on a 4-fight skid, right? Take a guess at still how many wins she has since Miesha Tate retired. I'll ruin it for you, because it's 3. She's actually won 3 fights since Miesha Tate retired. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? Like, that's how long Miesha Tate has been out. At the end of the day, like, She still managed to have like 4 fights. One went to a draw against Betchkahir, and then like she won 3, and then she's gone on a 4-fight skid. In that time, she's had 8 fights since Miesha Tate retired. Miesha Tate's had none in that time, and ring rust is a thing. I don't care what people say. Oh, it's not a real thing. It is. Look, it's just she's not match ready. She's not match fresh, is she? Like it's gonna, and I just feel like. I don't think that Miesha Tate has any business being a favourite in this fight. And she is, which I find amazing, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, her opponent's not brilliant, but you're getting some good value there. 2.20 on Renau to get the win. Better than even money. Against Miesha Tate, who's coming off 2 consecutive losses and has not fought since 2016. I'm having a go on that. I'm having a go on just the fight outright. Honestly, I think that Renau maybe get the stoppage. Do you know what I mean? You've got like, I think the double on that is about 3.5. You've got the TKO at 9.5. The submission at 8. And yeah, any of those are they're all a good bet. But I think that just 220 on the for Renau just to get the win, that's a good bet. Like, I mean, it's a terrible bet if, it doesn't come off. It's all terrible. Every single bet is terrible because you're never going to get rich bet on mixed martial arts. But honestly, do I hope that Miesha Tate wins? Yeah, probably. I would love to see her make a comeback, make a run at the belt. She says that she's better than ever. But let's be fair, every single fighter says they're better than ever when they're coming back from retirement. Like, they're not going to come back from retirement and say, actually, yeah, no, I'm shitter than I was before, and I was coming off a 2-fight skid then, so I'm probably going to be even shitter now. No fighter is going to say that. Of course they've had the best training camp of their life. Of course they feel stronger and fitter than ever. Like, otherwise they wouldn't be coming back. But the fact is, she's biased towards herself, and I just don't think that it's going to be the fairy tale story that the kind of Miesha Tate is hoping for. I'm putting Renau on my bet slip at 210. Having a go on that. Then we've got the main event. Islam Makhachev against Thiago Moises. Now, you know who Makhachev is. He is Khabib Mark II. He's the one that Daniel Cormier keeps on raving about. He's the one that Khabib keeps posting about. He's an AKA Sambo champion, Russian wrestler who grinds out decisions, who gets submissions. He loves doing those 2 things. Now, he's in a 5-round main event this time, so there's every chance he gets the finish. Thiago Moises, he's being counted out here, and maybe rightly so. He is a 4-1 underdog, +5. That is crazy for a fight with 2 people in it as well. The hype train behind Makhachev is definitely there. Is it real? That's the other question, isn't it? Now, at the end of the day, the problem I have here for Moises, I do think that he's probably going to get beaten because, he's a BJJ guy, and the BJJ guys tend to be pretty bad against, especially the Russian-style wrestlers, because they're not great at stopping all the ground and pound. Like and also the Russian guys, Makhachev's going to be wise to the submissions that he throws up from his back if he decides to throw him up from there. So at the end of the day, I think the smart money here is usually on a Makhachev decision or submission, right? That would cover 16 of his 19 wins. So that would be the smart money. However, for me, I'm going to take the TKO here because let's not forget that Moises, he's a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself. He knows how to defend submissions. However, that's going to leave him open to the ground and pound. And I think that's the way we see this going. I do think it's going to be a TKO stoppage, ground and pound. And that's 4.33 because obviously, it's very likely for the submission and the decision for Makhachev. So 4.33 on the knockout TKO is actually, pretty good. They drive that up because I think that that's where this one goes. Now, I'm adding that to the bet slip. That is a terrible bet. So obviously, what I like to do is those bets aren't terrible enough by themselves. Then, that'd be crazy. It'd be crazy not to put them all together. So, as I say, you've got the Vieira for the submission, Jeremy Stephens for the knockout, Marion Reneau just to get the win, and then you've got Makhachev by TKO or KO. That is 90-1. No, plus 91. 90-1. That is fantastic. That is absolutely terrible. I actually kind of like that bet, and you know, I quite like this fight card, to be fair. There are some decent scraps on it. Obviously it's not the fireworks that we had last week, but you know what, the train has to keep on moving. So yeah, that's it for this week. I'm going to do a wrap-up show on Wednesday to see how my bets got on. It's usually terrible, but you never know, there might be a couple of surprises in there. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a like and give me a subscribe, and thank you if you were subscribed to the Patreon. It absolutely means the world to me. It really helps me out a lot. And you know what, and anything you can do, if you can just like, subscribe and share. If you can share, that'd be fantastic. You know, I'd really appreciate that. The more subscribers I get, the better stuff I can do, all that good stuff. But until next time, keep those odds long and those bets terrible.